What's up, guys? I am doing my baby update today. Here he is, baby number 4. So I think that the last update I did was my pregnancy update, and it was, I think, 30 weeks, and then I never updated anything else. So I thought I should hop on and update with everything that has happened since 30 weeks. So if you've been following along, you know that I started to get some pain in my hips. I was having pelvic girdle pain, and it was kind of becoming excruciating to get around. A lot of the time I would just feel like I would have to be in bed, and walking was very difficult, so much so that just going around the block was difficult for me. And going up and down the stairs, I would start to go one at a time. And really, just the rest of my pregnancy turned into me trying to do yoga and strength exercises to try to get some relief from my pelvic girdle pain, because it was really miserable. So I actually was about 35, no, maybe around 34 weeks. No, I must have been 35 weeks when I decided I would try to go see a chiropractor to see if I could get relief that way. And I did my consultation, and for whatever reason, I set up an appointment, but for whatever reason I decided maybe I shouldn't do this. Something just doesn't feel right, so I'm not going to do it. And I went to my doctor's appointment the next day, and I was going to ask if it's okay, because I was still kind of on the fence. Am I going to do it or not? Was I going to have an adjustment or not, to see if I could find relief? Because my mom was like, you better ask your doctor first, because, you know, she's the type that is like, okay, let's not rock the boat on anything when you're pregnant. You know, is it something safe? So I was going to go ask my doctor just to double check, make sure that it's okay for me to do. And at that appointment, I was flagged for having high blood pressure, and it was 2 appointments in a row. Now, the blood pressure, I feel, really was just because I don't have a history of high blood pressure, and in the whole pregnancy, I didn't have a history except for the appointment 2 weeks prior. And they checked me within the next minute. They said, take a couple of breaths, let's check it again. And they were like, yep, that's fine, it's perfect. But they had to write it down as initial blood pressure reading was high, rechecked, and it was normal. And the same thing happened the next time in. It was high, they rechecked it within a minute, and it was normal after I was able to like sit down and take a couple breaths. And I've been speaking to other people since then, and they were like, that's not right. If it corrected itself after you were able to like sit down because you were walking from the waiting room into the appointment, you had a chance to sit down after that and take a breath, and they checked it again and it was fine, then I would assume that the second reading was the correct reading to take. But out of extreme precaution, they decided they wanted to induce me. So they were going to wait for another week. So that was at 36 weeks. They wanted to wait until I was at least 37 weeks. So they scheduled me for an induction for a week later. But within a couple days of that appointment, I was experiencing like more Braxton Hicks, a lot more Braxton Hicks, mild contractions. And then so that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish, I was experiencing Saturday I was experiencing lots of Braxton Hicks. Sunday, I would say it kind of felt like period cramps. And I was like, whoa, I think these are contractions. So I had my mom actually come down because my husband was working and I didn't want to be left alone, because I have 3 other kids. I didn't want to be left alone. in case something did happen and I went into labor. So I had her come down because it was really weird. And the next day, so nothing happened the night that I had her come over, and I was like, oh, I feel silly. I'm sorry for doing this. False alarm. And then like a few hours, or okay, that was in the morning. So she came at night. In the morning, I was like, oh, I feel stupid. And then I was really tired, so I took a nap. And when I woke up from the nap, my water broke. And so I went to the hospital, and they had to induce me because, yeah, it's not safe if your water is broken for too long. So, because it opens you up to infections, and it could really harm the baby or me. So it was a really difficult labor because my body wasn't ready to go into labor, and they were pumping me full of Pitocin and Cytotec to try to ripen my cervix and to get contractions started. And my body was like, So I think it took 3 days. And on the third day, they were finally like, let me see what's going on. Why aren't you? Because everyone was like, oh, it's her fourth baby. Don't go too far. Oh, fourth baby's going to pop right out. Be careful. It's her fourth baby. It's going to slide right out. And so I was like, okay, yay. He's going to come out fast. And that didn't happen. Everyone was like, you poor thing. And I was like, oh my God. I was getting really frustrated because at one point the Pitocin had been pumping all day long, and it got me to the point where I was ready for an epidural, and I was like, I think it's coming. I think the baby's coming. I think that active labor is coming. So I was ready for an epidural, and they were like, we better check her because it's her fourth baby. I don't want her to deliver the baby while I'm in the process of giving her an epidural. And they checked me, and I had not budged at all. I think I was still like 2 centimeters dilated, and I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, that was really gross. I haven't moved at all. My cervix hasn't dilated at all since the start of this. So I was bawling, crying, and the man was like, all right, well, since you have your epidural now and it's in you, we could turn it off if you want, but you can't eat because if you have to go have surgery for a C-section, you have to have an empty stomach, so you can't eat. And I was like, well, you don't even know when the baby's coming. I'm not even like in active labor, and you're telling me I can't eat or drink anything? I'm hungry. I've been like contracting slightly all day long and all night long, and I'm tired. And so I was just like, it was a really bad experience. And finally, the day that I did go into active labor, the nurse was like, let me check to see if your water sac is completely ruptured, because I have a feeling it's not. But you were checked already, weren't you? And I was like, yeah, I was when I came in. And then she checked, and she's like, yep, there's a sac right there blocking the opening. We're going to pop it. And they were like, how was she checked? But nobody felt that it was actually ruptured all the way. Cause I guess you have multiple sacs, like an upper and a lower sac. So only one of those sacs had ruptured and the other one was still intact. So it was, when your water breaks, labor goes a little faster. So if half of my sac was still intact, my labor wasn't like going yet. So she popped it, and she gave me the balloon, I forget what it's called, the Foley bulb, where they put the bulb up and try to like have your cervix open that way, and then by the time you're like 4 centimeters dilated, it falls out, and after it falls out, things get moving really quickly. They did that, and those two things, they were like telling me that this was baby day no matter what, because I was like, look, just be straight up with me. Am I going to have a C-section or not? And if so, tell me when that time is. Like, if I'm not producing a baby in inactive labor, by what time? I want to know, when is the point of a C-section? I need to know, because I'm not going to sit here and be like, what is happening? What's going on with my day? How long am I going to have to sit here and be in false labor? So they said that by the end of the night, if there's still no baby, then we would do C-section. So I was like, okay, whatever. But she was like, let's try this one last thing and see if this will get you moving. Sure enough, it did. Thank God. Again, for me, I have like a curve in my spine. So the epidural had done this previously too, but it only numbs like half of my body. So my right leg will go completely numb to the point where I can't feel it at all, can't move it at all. And my left side, I will have movement in, and it will be like, it'll feel kind of like my leg is asleep, but I still have feeling and movement in it. But my right leg is like, I can't move at all. Like I can't even turn. I need someone to push me because I'm just completely like a dead weight on that side. So I can have total feeling of what is going on and all the contractions in my left side, and on my right side, nothing. And that is miserable. And there's really nothing they could do. I started pumping it, you know, like that you can press the button and it puts more of the medicine in your epidural. So I kept doing that when it got really close, and still nothing on the left side. So by the time I delivered, I was completely like immobile in my right leg, which is, it stinks a lot, but he thankfully was born healthy, but because he was early, he had some difficulty with transitioning. So his lungs had a little bit of, he had a little grunt, and there was something else wrong. But I guess it was just all typical things for when a baby is born a little early. They're just like, they go into the air and are expected to breathe, but their lungs aren't ready to yet, so they need a little help along. So he had to go to the NICU after I delivered him, and he was there for, I think, 3 days before he was finally able to come home. They had him on a little CPAP machine to help provide positive air pressure to help his lungs open up and get moving on their own. But yeah, other than that, he's been healthy. He's gaining weight like a champ. And yes, he is now 3.5 months. This is my 4th baby. And as far as my pelvic pain, it did go away after, obviously when you're walking around, you're sore. So I was just all the typical kind of feelings you have after delivery I had, but as I was healing, as my healing progressed, I can't say that I had pelvic pain anymore. It pretty much went away after I delivered him. So that if you are experiencing pelvic pain, there's hope that after you deliver, it is pretty much gone and you don't have to worry about that anymore, if you're lucky. I know that some women do still experience it, but in my case, I feel like I had it pretty bad. Like I pretty much put myself on bed rest because it hurt so much. I couldn't even like vacuum. Going up and down the stairs hurt. Getting in and out of cars hurt. Walking hurt. I couldn't go around my block. Like it was bad. And it was really depressing because I need to do things. I have kids. I have a house to take care of. I have errands to run. I feel I need to move. I need to get things done, and I wasn't able to do that. And just not being able to get up and like do laundry and all those things is really depressing, actually. And I will not take that for granted. All of my work and the ability to clean, I will not take that for granted. So yes. With my 4th baby though, this pregnancy was the most difficult one. From start to finish, it sucked. The whole pregnancy did. I had problem after problem after problem. Up until delivery, there was issues all around, even with him having to go to NICU. I've never had a NICU baby before. So it was definitely enough to say I never want to do that again, and I mean it this time. But yeah, in the beginning, I had morning sickness that was like debilitating. I was nauseous all of the time. I was throwing up every day for the first trimester. That had never happened to me before with any of my previous pregnancies. At most, maybe I would have like a day or two of illness, of motion sickness, of morning sickness, and then maybe throw up once. And that was it. With this one, it was like every day. I was willing to try anything to make the nausea go away. And then when I was out of the morning sickness part, then I had like varicose veins, like that heavy, like pulsing feeling down in my lady bits, which made things just really uncomfortable because I had that all of the time and it was really annoying. And then after that, I got the pelvic pain. So with each trimester, it was something that had me miserable. And yeah, it sucked a lot. And I'm glad I'm not pregnant anymore. And I was considering getting my tubes cut out, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. If you've had your tubes cut out, can you please tell me how that experience was for you? If it caused your hormones to change in any way, or if it caused you any negative side effects afterwards. I would love to know, because I really want to have it done, but at the same time, I'm scared that I'm going to do something irreversible that has like long-term side effects. I can't deal with that. I'd rather just use protection with my husband every time we do it than have long-term. But at the same time, I would like to not have to worry about any of that and getting pregnant again, because my body cannot handle another one. I just know it. And they say that pelvic pain gets worse with each subsequent pregnancy. So I feel like if I did have another baby, that I would probably be in a wheelchair or using crutches for the duration of the pregnancy. Like, my body did not want to hold a baby, and I've never had a baby come early. They've all been induced at 40 weeks. This was my only early baby, and really, I feel like it was my body saying, I'm done. I'm not holding anything else. Get out of me. Plop. And like the sac just broke. So, yeah. But he's a good baby. I have a good baby. He's healthy. He's happy. My boys are really good about it. There hasn't been any moments of jealousy. It's really nice to have the 5-year gap. My youngest was 5 when I got pregnant with him. So I don't have any other really needy kids around. They're all pretty independent as far as how they live their daily activities around the house. You know, they can get themselves snacks, get themselves dressed, bathe themselves, brush their teeth, keep themselves busy, play with each other. So as far as my attention, they don't need a lot of my attention, which allows me a little bit of breathing space to just be tired with this one. It is like I was just getting over the whole like new mom feeling of what did I get myself into. I was feeling confident as a mom, and I was feeling like I had it under control. And so I feel like this is God's way of humbling me, because I'm back to, oh my gosh, like completely overwhelmed. What did I get myself into? I feel like a new mom all over again. Like, what am I doing? When can I ever have time to myself? When am I going to be able to just like not be tethered to this baby? And I know that time will be gone in an instant, and I should just take this time to be with him. But it's easier said than done, because a lot of the times we're not able to appreciate the moment for what it is. And I know that this time in my life, I should just slow down and enjoy this little nugget. because I know how fast this phase went, the baby phase went with all my other kids. And it is like such a cute time. It's a fun time. It's just tiring and exhausting physically and emotionally. So say hi. Hello. Hello. Oh, if you want to know, you know, all these pregnancy symptoms, like, what are those like pregnancy symptom myths that give a clue to what gender you're having? They're all wrong. They're all wrong. I had no morning sickness with my boys, all the morning sickness in the world with this one, not a girl. I did the ring test. It said that all of my other children were boys and this one would be a girl. He's not a girl. There were a couple other ones, but obviously I'm having brain farts right now and can't think of it. Anyways, there was like, I think the Chinese calendar said I was having a girl. Like a handful of the myths that I did pointed towards it's a girl, but he's not a girl, he's a boy. So don't trust those. And just because one pregnancy is one way and totally easy and the other one is the polar opposite doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. So don't rely on that. The blood test was correct. So if you have a blood test, that's probably like 99% right. And then of course the ultrasound is typically pretty spot on as well. So those are the two things that I would trust. Because even gut instinct told me like girl, and it wasn't. So I don't know. That's all right. I love my boys though. I will never be a mother to a girl, but that's okay because I love my boys. I love my wild life with my boys, and I get to be the queen of the house still. Say hi, Pookie. Hello. So that is my update. Baby number 4. All right, stay tuned for my next video. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, bye guys. Next time I'm going to talk about my breastfeeding journey and how I can't lose weight.